Nikki Clarke, and I'm here at the Funkadelic Studios in the heart of New York City. How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! That's what I like to hear. Last night it was Ajax in Ontario, and tonight is in New York City, so your girl gets around, and I want to make sure that everyone's story gets heard. The show is all about transforming lives, one story at a time, and we've got a great show in store for you tonight. We have America's no-nonsense queen, Luisa Otero. Make some noise for her. And then we have the author of My Lessons Are Yours, Matthew L. Taylor. He's here. And then we have two throwdown performances, one by an inspirational man forever. He's here today. And then we have another incredible performer. His name is Japan, so don't go anywhere. You're at the Nikki Clarke Show. Come right back. Welcome back. We have sitting with me in the hot seat is a very powerful woman. Her name is Luisa Otero. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Nikki, for having me. I'm really grateful that I have the opportunity to sit here and talk to you about something that I'm so passionate about.
I am really happy that you're here to share that with me, because I'm also really passionate about what you're trying to do, and that's empower women, liberating their choices.
Correct.
And how did you get tagged the no-nonsense queen of America?
I got tagged because I'm just no nonsense. And I think that in order for me to help women be empowered, I have to tell them the truth.
Okay.
I can't sugarcoat. I'm not going to tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
I'm going to tell them the truth. And, a lot of my clients and people that know me, they just started naming me the no-nonsense queen because I shoot right to the issue and the problem straightforward, yeah.
Straight from the hip.
Yeah.
So, it's like the truth shall set you free. Is that true?
Yes.
And more importantly, you're helping women make better choices.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about that. What is it that you do to empower women?
Well, what I do is I empower women by letting them understand that everything that they want and that they need is not outside. They have to be empowered from within.
Okay.
And once you're empowered from within, you're able to make better choices for your life. And that's in your marriage, in relationships, in your job, with your children, with your friends. An empowered woman never gets into a toxic and, unhealthy relationship.
So people who do enter those relationships, you're saying that happens to them because they have a lack of self-love?
Self-love, self-worth. They've been, their past creeps up on them. I always say that in order for, you have to start empowering your children when they're a young age.
Okay.
A very young age, because, life is going to happen to them. And if they're empowered, then it's more likely that they won't get caught up in a toxic relationship.
Okay. But you're talking about empowering children, like men and like boys and girls, not just the girls.
Both. I mean, in this world, we have men and we have women.
Right.
And what I notice is that a lot of women nowadays are sitting around saying, we don't need a man.
Right.
We could do it all by ourselves.
Have you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah. And the men are all dogs. And that's not true.
And men, every man is not a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's the men that you're choosing
Okay.
that are bringing you all the havoc and all the stress.
Right.
And that's because you are not empowered. So when you're not empowered, you attract the dog. You attract the man that's going to abuse you. You attract the man that's not going to treat you the way you're supposed to be treated. But if you don't treat yourself that way, then how is a man going to do it, or anybody else?
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. There seems to be a real disconnect with men and women these days. Like, what's going on? There's so many amazing single women and amazing single men, but they're just
not meeting.
like this. They're not meeting.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I think that a lot of women, I'm all about empowering women because that's what I do. But I think that a lot of women are taking it to another level. And a lot of women are saying to me, because I deal with a lot of women all over the world, and the message that I'm getting from women is that, I don't need a man. I'll hook up. The thing is hooking up now. this hooking up thing, and then they wonder why there's no commitment, because women are not holding men accountable and men are not holding women accountable, because it's both. It's just not one, because the men get the bad rap. But if you know what, if I'm in a relationship, I'm married to my husband, and when we first started dating, I wasn't hooking up. I don't do that hooking up stuff, you know, because that sets you up for, you know, when you first meet a man, and if you don't put standards, and your standards
Create
not up,
boundaries,
and
yeah.
create boundaries, then you know the relationship is going to be whatever it is.
Right.
But when you're empowered and you say, you know, because a lot of women don't want a committed relationship, and that's okay. But don't go into the space of, I don't want to be committed, and then all of a sudden you're in a relationship and the communication is not talked about. Are we a couple? Because nobody talks about, are we a couple? Nobody even says, you know what, this is my girl. This is just, there's too many side chicks.
That happens a
There's
lot these days.
Yeah, too many side chicks, too many girls and women that don't hold men accountable, and you know the world's just crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, and a lot of these women are raising children. What are you raising your children to be? You know, to be in a relationship where you don't hold a man accountable to commit to you. You know, but you both have to be on the same page. Because if a man tells you in the beginning of a relationship, I don't want to be committed, believe him when he says he doesn't want to be committed. A lot of women think that once they're in the relationship that they can change them. You can't change them. Change a man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you teach the person how to treat you
You.
too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's go back to the side chick phenomenon. That's bouncing up a lot lately.
That's like the new norm.
That
I
was
don't
the
know.
new norm. I went on a date, unofficial date, early last week, and I was offered a side chick position that I declined.
Yeah, good for you.
I sent him back because no, thank you. But what is in the mindset of the side chick? They're saying, no, I don't want to get into the commitment. I can have the fun, but I don't have the responsibility. I don't have to cook. I don't have to do his laundry.
But that's not true, because the
But
side chick
then
does all that.
They end up doing all that?
The side chick does everything that the wife does. Okay, so
what's the point?
and that, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, it's just because the man is just not committing to them. The man is coming into the relationship already in a relationship, and she knows that. So if you know that, then you know what? Expect what it is.
Okay.
Don't think that he's gonna leave his wife for you. Don't think that you're gonna become the wife, because you know what? The side chick is a side chick because that's what you chose to be. So don't have any expectations for anything else with that man.
Okay. So what is the formula then for a healthy relationship? What should people be looking for?
People should be really looking for, as a woman, you should be looking for somebody that's at your level or above. And what I feel is a lot of women are lowering their standards for men. There's a lot of women that are being empowered. There's a lot of women that are becoming businesswomen, that are making money, and they lower themselves down to these men that don't meet their level.
Okay. So find someone on your level or higher. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Don't
know,
date down?
Don't date down, and don't date somebody that just comes up to you and say, "What's up, Ma? Can I
What's
holler
up,
at
Ma?
you? What's up?
Can I
What's
get the
that?"
digits?
Yeah, you know, and women just get all crazy. Oh my God, no. Keep your standards high, and you know your worth, and you know what you want. You have to know what you want in a mate. And what I do in my coaching program is I have women, when you go on a date, do your homework.
What do you mean? Google him?
No, just sit down there, and before you get on dates, know what you want.
Okay.
You know, I want a man that does this, that. And I'm not saying crazy and you know, because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship.
No.
But you have to know what you're getting into. And if you see that man on this first date is not what you want, then don't go on the second date. Don't
Okay.
go home with him that night. Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, learn to keep yourself empowered.
You know, and I know some friends of mine who are, you know, well into their 40s, and they've never been married, and they've never had children. And if you look at their laundry list of what they're looking for, men, it's like
Ridiculous.
completely unrealistic. So whomever you're looking for, it has to be kind of like a match of what you can offer too.
Yeah, and it goes both ways, because a lot of women want to be taken care of. No, you know what? It's 50-50. Let me see what I bring, and then let me see what you're bringing. And if it doesn't, if it's not what you want, then why are you going to continue to be with and date this person? And people don't date anymore. There's no such thing as dating and having fun. They hook up, and all of a sudden, yeah, that's my girl, yes, that's my man, and blah, blah, blah.
And
then
if
what
it doesn't
happens?
feel good, you move on to the next. There's
Yeah.
no communication to try to work things out. So that's the trend lately.
It's a trend, and there's no communication, and everybody just does.
Okay. So go back to the points on how to make it work. The right way is
Stick to what you believe and don't lower your standards.
Yeah.
Know what you want and move forward.
and move forward.
Yeah.
You have an international base of clients from all over, even as Africa, you said, are reaching out to you looking for help. What is the name of your coaching business, and where can people find you?
My coaching business is lovestartswithyou.biz. That's my website. And I'm on Twitter at Luisa Otero 618. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm available to help and empower you. My 6-month program it starts from self, getting empowered within yourself, and then we take steps to getting you empowered so you can attract that wonderful, happy, and loving relationship. And I think that every woman deserves to be in a healthy, happy relationship, but you have to want it. You have to know your worth in order to attract that type of man.
What they say, a happy wife, a happy life. So she's happy, he's happy, right? So it's a spin-off.
That's right. That's right.
Luisa, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Nikki.
we've got to get together and talk some more. I have more questions for you.
Thank you so
But,
much. I
we have
appreciate
limited
it.
time, but isn't she amazing?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with some more. Don't go anywhere. The Nikki Clarke Show. Joining me now is the author of My Lessons Are Yours, Matthew L. Taylor. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, give him a clap. You're styling, you're wearing your new fedora for me. Thank you very much.
No
I appreciate the swag.
Yeah,
So you came all the way from Toronto.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah,
There you
you
go.
made the trek down for you.
Yeah.
And I've known you for a little bit. I actually interviewed you last year in Toronto when you had just first launched the book. Tell me a little bit about your process to writing the book, the lessons. My lessons are yours.
Process was fairly quick. I wrote it in 10 weeks.
That's fast.
It
Takes
was
a
all
while.
just sitting inside of me, just waiting to get out, I guess, because by the time I got to writing, it kind of just poured out. The editing process and getting everything to look the way I wanted it to look was a little bit of a longer process, but as far as the body of work, it was done in 10 weeks.
Okay. So the lessons are based on your life.
My life and just observations and experiences I've witnessed with others that I thought were worth sharing.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your background. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Scarborough, majority of my life. I just moved to North York maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Scarborough, and the good thing about Scarborough is a very diverse place. Filipino, Chinese, white, everybody. So at a very young age, I learned how to deal with different cultures and get along with different people. And I find that to be a valuable thing now in the world of business, now that I'm older. So, yeah.
Yeah, interpersonal skills are very valuable, and they transfer throughout life.
Absolutely.
But you said you saw someone struggle. Your mom would work 16-hour days, and that left a real impression on you.
Absolutely. Both my parents actually, they spent a lot of time working, and I respect them for that because that kept me from growing up in some other neighborhoods that maybe wouldn't have led to me being who I am today. Maybe, I mean, who knows? But bottom line is, I watched my parents work really hard, and it made me want to learn more about finances and more about entrepreneurship so I could take things to the next level.
Okay.
Because they came here in the 1970s and they were working.
From where?
They came from Jamaica.
Okay, like my parents.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they came from there and they worked real hard to set a good foundation for me and my siblings. So I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to take things to the next level now.
Right. Well, your
So-
parents always want their children to do better.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I'm hoping to build some businesses and then, maybe my kids could grow up and take them over and take things to the next level and keep evolving,
How many children do you have?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Girls, boys?
1 boy, 4 girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got into the financial business, and
Yeah.
tell me about that process.
I'm loving it. I'm learning new things every day, and it's stuff I can apply to life and stuff I could bring back and share with my community, stuff I can teach my kids. So it's been really empowering, and I like it. You know, you get to leave a positive impact with people. I mean, just earlier today, I was talking to somebody who will remain disclosed, but, you know, just had a baby in a bit of a situation, wanted some advice, and I was able to offer it, and it seemed like they felt good about it, and I like that. To me, that feels better than money.
Okay. Now, you refer to something called the Rule of 72. What is
Right.
that?
The Rule of 72 is basically kind of rule of thumb in the investment world. So the way it works is a lot of times when we invest in things, we get a specific interest rate. So, for example, if your interest rate was 12%, if you're getting 12% back on your money, if we were to divide 72 by 12, that tells us it would take 6 years to double your money in that investment.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's the formula.
that's the formula.
Okay. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the reality of things. 1 out of 2 people come into a relationship, whether it be common law or marriage,
Right.
and then they break up.
Right.
And usually what happens through a separation, a divorce, not all the time, but there's money mismanagement because it's, you know, it's all over the place. It's with him, it's with her. And then you may end up in a situation where you have bruised credit because you have to start all over again.
Right.
What happens to those people who have bruised credit, who want to get back out there and they want to find a home? They want to, you know,
That's a good
they
question.
want to build equity. Can they repair themselves?
Absolutely. There's different ways to go about it. One thing you can do is if you can't get accepted for a credit card, you can get a prepaid credit card from your bank. And the important thing to remember is whatever your limit is, only use 30%. Try to stay within 30, maybe 35%. Because what you're then showing the bank is you can manage the money, and lenders are kind of backwards in the sense of they're more inclined to lending to people who prove that they don't really need the money.
Okay.
So if you use only 35% of your prepaid card, eventually you should get a real credit card. And when you get your credit card, once again, you just got to remember that 70-30 rule. You want to stay within that guideline, and you'll find over time, 4, 5, 6 months, your credit score will improve dramatically because you've showed that you can manage over time dealing with your credit. Another way to boost it is some of these companies that control your credit score, they like to see different variation of credit lines that you have. Okay. There's installment loans, so that's more like that of a car loan. Mm-hmm. There's revolving trade lines, which is that of a credit card. And they generally say that you should have 3 to 5 revolving trade lines. So if you can, you start with one, keep building, they'll give you another one. You want to get to 3 to 5 credit cards and maybe 1 installment loan. If you prove that you can manage that, over time, then it's going to dramatically boost your credit score. No one really just starts off and jumps to 3 or 5, right? Mm-hmm. But if you have one card and you maintain it right and do the 70-30 thing, they will eventually give you another one, and you just keep building that way. Another way to boost your credit score is to raise your credit limit, because the utilization rates, the amount that you use, has a big effect on your actual credit score. For example, if you have a credit card that has a limit of $1,000 and you use $600, your utilization rate is 60%. Right. But if you raise your credit limit now, or if they approve it to $2,000, that utilization rate would have dropped from 60% to 30%, which would put you in a better standing with your credit score. The key, though, is once you get approved for that credit limit increase, sometimes you have to call the Equifaxes and the TransUnions, and in this case, FICO, and make sure that they actually have that limit increase on record, because some credit card companies, in order to keep your business, so I've heard some may intentionally not notify the companies of the increase, so that then boosts your utilization rate, which makes you less attractive to other lenders.
So it's you become a pawn
Yeah,
in
you
the
gotta
game.
you gotta stay on top of your stuff.
You got to stay on top of your stuff.
Yeah.
And how often should you check your credit?
That's a
Because
good
we're in an
question.
age of like identity theft too.
Exactly. Because identity theft is so common nowadays, I mean, if you were to call your bank and ask them to check your credit, more than likely it'd be a hard pull, and a hard pull would negatively affect your credit score for a little while. What you can do is go to Equifax.ca, go to TransUnion. If you're in the States, you can. I think they have VantageGuard now,
Is it Vantage Guard?
the new one.
States? Yeah.
And they have FICO, which is the main one created by Bill Fair in 1956. You can check that as often as you like if you do it yourself, because when you check yourself, it's a soft pull, which doesn't negatively affect your credit score, to my knowledge.
Gotcha. So financial education is really important, you know, and I think it should be started as early as possible. You know, with my own 3 children, I taught them the value of credit and not to spoil it and how to use it and build it. And I'm sure you're doing it with your children. So I just think it should be like integrated into the school, like another science,
I
you know,
think so,
understanding
too.
how credit works.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be part of the curriculum. But where can people find you if they want more information and training or workshops?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some seminars coming soon. If you want to find me, you can go to my website, mylessonsareyours.com. I actually have another website probably being constructed as we speak. It may actually be ready by the time you guys see this. That's gonna be MatthewLTaylor.com. Shout out Web Range Solutions and Keyshawn Kenton. Those are my web guys. Keep my websites looking proper.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your pearls of wisdom.
Thank
That'd be great. And I want to say something, you know, before you go. I'm really happy that you're here for many reasons, because, you know, God forbid there may have been another turn of events. Do you want to tell people what happened and share that with me today?
I was in a car accident on the 17th. I was T-boned. The car ran a red and hit me and flipped over my Jeep. Needless to say, I'm very lucky because my physiotherapist said I probably should have been in a body cast. And instead, I just got a pretty chiropractor. So I'm lucky for that.
Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. You're amazing. Thank you so much. All right, we'll be back with an incredible performance by Forever, so you don't want to go anywhere. Come back.
Drug addiction, I'm still here. Eating disorders, overdose, I'm still here. Gangs, violence, abuses, crimes. Yo, I am still here. Yo, there must be a purpose, right?
Amen.
Yeah, come on, everybody, just...
Come on.
My name is Forever, right? Every time I say I'm still here, you're gonna say by the grace of God. I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
Even though I'm changed now,
I must perfect that part.
Lord, I surrender my life.
My devilish ways.
The wicked one had me stuck.
I was lost in a maze.
Now I see what's clearing through the fog and the glaze. I let go of my will,
But you power me still.
and you keep me at peace. My soul is released. Let's see that victory.
As to be admitted defeat.
So I'm
letting you in.
Yes, I'm letting you in. I walk away from the death and you
Like to begin. What's done is gone as I bury the past. Now I count my blessings. I'm a
exposed to the hell. I
recognize the heaven.
I move
Spiritual. Miracle.
But I had to let go of
My life in the physical.
one of a kind.
Now I seek and I find.
13 billion nerves out.
Moving my mind.
Headed for greatness.
It's just a matter of time.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
Even though I'm changed now,
I must perfect that part.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
Even though I'm changed.
Even though I'm changed, I'm gonna perfect that part.
I keep it just for today. I humble myself
Just to keep my head in the game.
aware of
I
the
fall, cause I'm coming from pain.
No battle with sin.
Followed by emotional strain.
I'm knowing the truth, still not making a change. That's the definition
Of living insane.
I'm a not religious, use my great
Power to choose.
Directing my thoughts.
For I start speaking my voice.
Listening to
Discipline, come on, come on.
Ignorant, listen to the truth. That's why I'm different. My soul needs medicine.
People need fellowship.
Faith is positive and fear is
Negative.
Hope the opposite, my only
Operative.
My pride is swallowing my blood, I
Follow it.
My life from private, from hate to
Doubt
doubt
it.
Tomorrow's
The better day if the Lord's allowed
I'm
it.
still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
You're still here, make
So
some
noise.
All that I've been
Yeah.
through, I'm still here.
That's right, forever.
Come on, now I said, put your hands up in
I'll
the
put your
air.
hands up. I'll put your 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 hands up. Now wave from side to side, wave from side to side. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Oh
One more time,
yeah.
y'all.
Come on,
One more time
come
for
on,
your
come
mind.
on.
One more time for your mind. I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
I'm still here.
By the grace of God.
Even though I'm changed now, I'm a
Perfect that part. Yeah.
I'm forever, God bless. I'm still here. Peace.
Make some noise again for Forever and Close Up. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Still here.
By the grace of
I
God.
love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about that. You're still here. Yeah, a little bit about your background.
Well, I was born into drug addiction. Both my parents were substance abusers. The day I was born, my mom was a drug using cocaine. So I came into the world, with the odds against me. My parents actually stole me from the hospital at one point and lived on the run, to support their habit. And I was eventually taken away. I was put into Child Protective Services. I was in foster care, and then I was eventually adopted and brought to Long Island, New York, where my adopted parents, raised me. But I had a lot of behavior issues. I grew up feeling very unaccepted. I had a lot of problems. I had an eating disorder. I was overweight. I got bullied in school. I was a kleptomaniac. I mean, I just got into so many things. I was in jail, and then I got into drugs myself, and I ran with that for like 10, 15 years. I was bulimic, I was in gangs, I did crimes, I was out there. Even though my parents were in church and I had a knowledge of who God was, I never connected it. I never had that relationship until one night I had basically like a near overdose, and I was just like, I'm done, and I gave my life back to God, and He started restoring me. So.
Amen. When you were going through all those changes, and you were just looking for that relationship with God, you were just looking for that gap to be filled. It was just the love that you needed.
Yeah, that's what I needed, but I didn't know that's what I needed. I was looking for it in women and money and everything else. Yeah.
And when did the music come along?
The music came along at about the age of 23. We just, me and my friends, we were like in the back of the car rapping, and something just was like, and they were like, did you just say that? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, and then I just started developing it, and just, I'm not a quitter. That was a problem I had with drugs, but now I use it as I'm persistent and perseverance. So
You're here forever.
amen. That's right.
And how did you connect with this gentleman?
Oh, okay. Well, my boy Closer, we were in the financial service business together, and I just took a liking to him, and we started talking, and I gave him one of my CDs. And we lost the connection, and just like 6 months ago, he called me up and he was like, Mike, I want to tell you that, you know, I found God, and I want to live in the light. And he told me that my music helped him, and I said, all right, let's go. And I picked him up that night for a show, and he's been with me ever since.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
And your music, how would you describe it?
It's influential, it's inspirational, it's just about me, it's just music.
And we love your music. What do you think?
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me at Forever He Is. That's one word, foreverheis.com.net. Online, on Instagram, Twitter, and also we're actually going on tour. You know, it's really a blessing. We're going on tour for a month. We're going from Philly all the way down to Atlanta for a month. We're going to be on the road, me and the closer. So you know, we're preparing for that. We're looking for sponsors, and we're just going to have a blast.
Okay, well, I'd like to give you my personal invitation to come down to Toronto whenever you're ready.
That's right. December 17th, right?
That's my birthday. You're going to be there. Awesome. Okay, I'm so happy. Thank you very much. All right, we'll be back with another performance.
All right, let's go. I need everybody at the Nikki Clarke show to make some noise right now. Such a blessing to be here today. I want to thank them so much. This song is called Simple. Everybody, let's go. As I lay me to sleep, how I dream about you. Wait for love. It was right by your side, staring your eyes. That pain with our love, and I can't help when I think about my life without you. I believe you that I will say no, but I can't live without you. You know that I'm made on a chain, should I inside about you? It's waiting on the show. Everybody having a good time right now? So am I, God bless you. Take a seat, let me speak on our life united. Don't try to fight it. And how sweet the feeling. And I can see a beautiful picture that is painted with our love. The most wonderful illustration and description are together. Come on! I can never say no. Oh, no, you know that I'm waiting on the chain. I know that you won't. Don't take your eyes off me. Treat you like royalty. So what you waiting, everybody stand up right now, come on. Come on. Without you.
noise again for this young man. That was fantastic. Oh, let me hang on to you. I just got tired watching you. Where does that come from?
Girl. No, I just have, first of all, God and Christ is my Lord and Savior, and that, all of my energy and all of my synergy comes from Him. So, and, I've just been, my foundation is, legends such as Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Marvin Gaye, Boy George, Grace Jones. I
love Grace Jones.
Love her. And I've just been doing this since I was 5, and I was in Dallas, and I was like, this is not my life. I'm not built for corporate, the corporate world.
What are you doing?
Now, I'm a full-time artist, and I'm just looking for a bigger opportunity, and I just thank you so much for, blessing me with that opportunity. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, the world needs to see this town.
Oh my gosh, I definitely appreciate it. I'm trying to hold back right now. It's a very emotional moment for me, but it's been a long time coming, and it's about that time, and I just want you guys to, stay on my train because we're gonna take it to the top.
Definitely.
Yes, you can find me on my website, you guys. You can go to JapanNationOfficial.com. That's JapanNation official. That's spelled OFFICIAL.com. I know y'all like, why you spelling it out? Everybody can hear it, all right? So on Facebook, it's the same thing, Japan Nation. Twitter, Japan_Nation, and Instagram, Japan Nation.
Okay, make some noise again. What a great show. Can I get the guests to come back on for the final bell? Thank you. It's a wrap, everyone.